everybody, welcome back to my channel, Grace and Ashes. Today I'm going to be doing a video just on Makeup Revolution. I did a first impressions video probably about 3 weeks ago where I used all these products for the first time, and I gave you my first impression of what I thought about it at the time. But I've been wearing this makeup almost every day for about 3 weeks now, so I am going to go into a little bit more depth with talking about these products, what I like, what I don't like. I also uploaded a blog post on my website. It is graceandashes.com, where I went into full detail about these particular products and I left links. So if you are interested in any of these items or you want to try them out, be sure to go to my website. Again, it's graceandashes.com. Go to my blogging section and you will see that blog post. It's titled Makeup Revolution Review. I've left links for everything. I've left the prices for everything. I've left how many shades come in it, etc. So if you're interested in seeing that, be sure to go to my website. Don't forget to subscribe while you are there. Also, if you are interested in seeing this particular makeup tutorial, I uploaded a video last Sunday. I will link that video down below so that way you can go and watch that video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Comment with any other makeup tutorials that you would like to see under that particular video. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. The first product I'm going to talk about is the Makeup Revolution Foundation. This is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation, and it is just that. It is definitely full coverage. It's the perfect shade for me. I am F2. I believe there's one shade down. I believe there's an F1, but this is the perfect shade for my fair skin. It's definitely full coverage. It covers everything, but I don't really have anything on my skin that I need to be covered. When it comes to full coverage foundation, I don't really have anything to hide. I don't have blemishes, I don't have redness or anything like that. So when it comes to full coverage, it's just full coverage. It's not really covering up anything on my face. It's just enhancing it and making it better. But the foundation, it is $12. I purchased it at Ulta. I think it comes in about 24 to 25 shades, which I think is really good for a drugstore foundation. But the only issue I have with it is that it does break up right here on my cheek area and my nose. And I have very dry skin, more combination to dry, but this time of year it's definitely more dry. So being that this is a matte foundation, it definitely dries out my skin. I've noticed that I've had to exfoliate a lot more often. I have to use moisturizer a lot more often. I have found myself doing more face masks since I started using this foundation, and I'm not really a fan of that, but that's kind of the price that you pay when you're wearing a matte foundation and you already have dry skin. So if you have dry skin and you don't like matte foundations, you're probably not going to like this Makeup Revolution foundation. If you are interested in seeing how this makeup wears on someone that does have oily skin, or if you're interested in seeing how this makeup wears on someone who does have blemishes and redness and things that do need to be covered, I recommend checking out Casey Holmes. She raves about this particular foundation. She's actually the reason that I even went and purchased it, because she raved about it in so many videos that I was like, you know what, it's $12, I'm gonna try it out. And it's definitely everything that she says it's going to be. It definitely works. I think it lays better on her particular face. I'm not sure what she does differently than I do. Maybe it's that big sponge that she uses. I only have the small one, so maybe I need to get the bigger one. But I will link her videos down below if you're interested in seeing how it wears on oily makeup. But don't click off of my video to go watch her video. Wait till the end. I like it. I think it wears well. I definitely recommend putting it on with a sponge. I tried to put this on with a brush and it was awful. It was awful. So I definitely recommend a sponge. Damp Beauty Blender is going to apply so much better. It's going to apply easier and it's going to last longer on your face. The next product I'm going to talk about are the concealers and the contour sticks. Or not sticks, these are liquids, but you can use these to conceal or contour. And on the packaging it says Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer and Contour. I have two shades. I have C1 and C11. C1 is the lightest shade in the concealer. Because I am the second to lightest shade in the foundation, I have to go with the lightest shade in the concealer. So that way I do get a little bit of brightness under my eyes. I don't really notice that it brightens, but I'm shade Ghost to start off with, so I don't really need to be brightened anyway. But I don't really notice that it brightens too much. If you have a darker skin tone, you're probably going to notice that it brightens more on your particular skin, but on mine, I'm just Ghost. So there's really nothing to brighten. I'm already bright. I also use C11. This particular shade I purchased it to contour with, but it's not dark enough. I should have went a little bit darker. In my first impressions video, I was using C8. So I took it back and I got C11, and it's still not dark enough. I use it for a bronzer, so you can see I kind of have it right here. And I bronze with it. I don't contour with it. I use the powder contour instead. But I think it does its job as far as a bronzer goes. It blends in nicely, and I don't notice that it creases on my skin area here. Now I will say with the concealer under my eyes, it creases so bad, and I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it, but once I put my eyeshadow on and I buff it out underneath, I don't really notice the creasing as much. So if you wear eyeshadow under your eye and you really buff it out, you're probably not going to have an issue. But if you don't like under eye eyeshadow, you're really going to notice the creasing, especially if you have wrinkles under your eyes. I do. It's just natural. It's what happens. So that's the only negative I really have about the concealer, is that it does fall into all of my lines under my eyes. I do notice that it does kind of fall in on my nose a little bit. When I do concealer, I bring it here and then I bring it down. It does crease right here when I smile and when I laugh. So just know that it is going to fall into your creases and it is going to leave that line. I highly recommend those two products. They are $7 and you can purchase them at Ulta. The product I'm going to talk about is the Makeup Revolution Banana Powder. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like the shade. I wish I had they actually have a shade called Ghost. I mean, perfect match. I don't know why I didn't get it in the first place. But this is just, it's a little too dark for me. And I do not like the packaging. It is so difficult to get the powder out of here. To try to put it in the lid is not very big at all. So trying to stick my beauty blender in here to get the powder goes everywhere. It gets all over my clothes. It gets all over my desk. I'm not a fan of this. Maybe if it was in a different shade and I liked it a little bit better, I might be willing to handle the lid, but this isn't my favorite. I think it works well. I think it lays nicely with the foundation. I think it lays nicely with the concealer, but I just don't like the packaging. I wish the packaging was easier to use. I don't know if I mentioned this whenever I was talking about the foundation, but definitely use a primer with the foundation. I did not use a primer the first time that I wore it, and I think it still laid nicely, but I definitely recommend a primer. I use the L'Oreal Infallible Glow Lock Primer. It is in the shade 130. So I purchased mine at Ulta. I can't remember how much this was, but I will link it down below. It's also linked in my blog post as well. So it is the Illuminating Primer Base. Because this is a matte foundation, I wanted something that was going to help illuminate my skin. So I think this works great, and I think it holds on to all of my foundation and my concealer, everything really well, and I think it lays nicely. So definitely recommend a primer. L'Oreal is one of my favorite companies ever, drugstore wise. So if you're looking for a good primer, I definitely recommend this one. The next product that I'm going to talk about is the eyebrow pencil. This is it just says Makeup Revolution, but this is the duo one, so it has your spoolie on the end, and then on the other side it has your actual stick. This is in the shade Medium Brown, which is perfect for my hair color. I think this works well. I think it could be better, and until I purchased Makeup Revolution, I had never even done my eyebrows to begin with, so I think the shade's fine for me. Again, it's medium brown. I think I could probably go one shade lighter, but the only thing I don't like about this is when I put it in my eyebrows and I take the spoolie, the product just falls all over my face, and it clumps up, it gets stuck in the spoolie, I gotta clean it, and it's just a hot mess express going on when I'm trying to do my eyebrows, and that's not something that I want, especially when I'm just getting into doing my eyebrows. I want it to be easier and get easier, and it seems the more I use it, the harder it gets, which I don't think that's probably how it's supposed to go, or maybe I'm just figuring out how to do it correctly, and that's why it's getting harder. I don't know. So if you use the eyebrow duo, let me know in the comment section if you have issues with this flaking off. Even throughout the day, it flakes off, even when I use a setting spray. So Let me know if it's just me or maybe I got a bad stick or something. I don't know, but let me know if you have issues with this. Eyebrow pencil in medium brown is what I currently use. If you're interested in price or if you are interested in trying this out, again, go to my website. It is linked in my blog post. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is the Makeup Revolution Sport Fix Setting Spray. I think it works fabulously. It doesn't really have a scent to it, so I can spray a ton of it. When I first got it, 3 squirts is all I did. One on this side, one in the middle, one on my left side. Now I spray it all over because I want the stuff to stay in place, and it holds my makeup all day long. It doesn't move. If I spray more of this, I notice that the foundation doesn't break up as much. So I highly recommend this. If you sweat or if you play sports, I think this is going to be your perfect setting spray. It's cheap, it's drugstore, and I think it works fabulously. This is the Extra Hold Makeup Fixing Spray. Your directions say to shake well before use, apply makeup as usual, and hold the bottle 8 to 10 inches away from your face and spray. Make sure that your eyes are closed. You definitely want your mouth closed as well. And I just fan it and it dries super fast, and I think it works great. Those are all of the products that I had to talk about today that are Makeup Revolution. If you want something that's a little bit more in depth, again, go check out my blog post. I will post a link to my website down below in the comment section. I will also post a link to all of my socials. I am on Instagram, Facebook. All of my handles are Grace in Ashes. I post on Instagram every single day with a fashion update or a fashion find. I have a new blog post every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you're interested in going to check those out, make sure that you subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel as well for a new video every Sunday. Leave me a comment below if you have tried out Makeup Revolution and what your thoughts are on it. And I hope that you enjoyed this. Again, I will leave a link to this particular makeup look if you want to watch it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.